fellow Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Rose this year, and welcome to a random little installment of Elden Ring Night Rain. Now, I've been doing a lot of streams of this game, especially like some random videos here and there when I'm not streaming. And I've been doing, and there's one thing I wanted to kind of like try and do, just to kind of do like, I guess you said like a showcase of sorts. Um, And that's kind of, and the thing that came to my mind was like a Relic Loadout showcase. Um, I think I did this, I think I sort of did something like this, with Raider, maybe even Guardian, even though like I haven't showed everything like from the top part all the way down to the bottom. I was like kind of just showing off like certain little things that I kind of managed to put together with the various relics and stuff that I managed to get over the course of my time playing this game. But here I decided to do a little thing where I'm going to show showcase of relics and stuff that I have for one of the characters I often play around as in this game, which is Ironeye, who you see before you right now. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show off all of the urns and stuff, and show all the loadouts and stuff like that, because I recently managed to um kind of like have a decent little loadouts for for like various different occasions, if you will, and I figured that maybe I'd show you guys what I've managed to concoct, and who knows, maybe you can use it for yourselves in battle, or maybe you can get some other you can like you throw your own 2 cents into the fray of like what to use. But some of these I'd say are very specific towards certain bosses, especially when it comes to like their effective weaknesses. So kind of keep that in mind. But yeah. So the first one comes from Ironeye's urn, which has a yellow and 2 green slots. So first one is a Grand Luminous Scene, where it has +1 additional character skill use. So basically, you get able to do the slide dagger attack with more than once. You can able to use it like maybe mark an enemy, or you can like mark an enemy and then like back, like kind of slide away, or maybe use that to like kind of like get some distance, or like get some distance here, like forward or backwards, whatever. So there's that. Changes the compatible armament skill to rain of arrows at the start of expedition. Now, the one thing I kind of wish that this game had was the Mirage Astral War for bows, but unfortunately it doesn't. So Rain of Arrows is kind of like the next thing that I like to be able to do for stuff. And also I have +1 in intelligence, which, you can give or take about like if it really makes any difference or not, so there's that. Next up is Dark Knight of Miasma, where Frostbite and Vicinity conceals self. Starting armament inflicts frost and improved physical damage negation. Now I believe that you get this from defeating the Everdark Solvent version of I want to say Caligo, aka the Ice Dragon. So there's that. And then I have a Polished Tranquil Scene where it has attack power increase for each Everdark prisoner defeated, and increased ruin acquisition for self and allies. Now, I did this. Now the reason why I had did this because for 2 reasons. One, sometimes whenever I've been on an expedition with randos, every now and then there'll be that little chance of going to an Everjail, defeating whatever comes out of said Everjail, and getting that little side goodie stuff from that. And because of how it's kind of like the Everdrill meta per se, um, I was kind of think to use, especially for trying to make yourself stronger. Because sometimes you never know exactly how many Everdrills you can be able to hit. Something you can be able to like hit one or two, or something you can hit almost all of them and stuff like that. So, yeah. And of course, increased rune acquisition, for self and allies, and the more runes you get, the possibility of getting higher level or max level, which is 15, might become a thing. So, yeah. But yeah, overall, this is what I like to consider as a frost build. Next up is a fire build that I kind of play around with. So, first one is another thing where you get the additional character skill use with a knife and all that. Starting armament deals fire damage and fire attack up +2. And then I got a small blue one because this one has red, blue, and yellow. And I did a little thing where I managed to get it's not like too big, but it's still something decent in my opinion. But I got a polished drizzly scene where it has HP restoration upon bow attacks and +2 on mine. And then finally I got Dark Knight of the Beast, which you can get from defeating Everdark Tricephalus, aka the three-headed doggo. It has stamina recovery upon landing attacks +1. Taking attacks improves attack power, and fire attack power up +2. So yeah, basically this is for this is for bosses that are especially weak to the fire damage. It's just something my mouse kind of put together and everything like that. And I think that I think it's pretty good. Like I know I wish I did have like a third slot thing for the blue relic, but what can you do? Because like I say, everything is often random. So yeah, that was from Ironeye's Goblet. And we're gonna check out the chalice, which has a red slot, a green slot, and a white slot, where the white slot is pretty much a freebie slot. So this is what I like to refer to as, so this is kind of like my little poison build. So, for one, I got the extended duration of weak point whenever you do the character skill for Ironeye, and I got the attack power Evergel, increase thing, because, why not? And then I got a Grand Tranquil Scene, which has strength armor that deals poison, and also attack power goes up when facing a poison inflicted enemy, and also +1 to physical attack. And even though it was pretty small, I kind of wanted to try and see about having like a little bow, a little something with a bow. So found I found a small a small green relic that had HP restoration upon bow attacks. Now, this is kind of something that I'd say could be used, for like the Gaping Jaw boss, because it's going to be weak to that. Alright, so Soot Covered Ironized Urns next, which has 2 yellows and a blue. So, back to the polished drizzly scene where it has the HP restoration on bow attacks, +2 on mine. I also have a armament. Everything has the excuse me, the starting armament inflicts blood loss. Also have the art activation. It has a poison effect, so I think the longer that you hold it, the more you go to hit with the poison proc an enemy, and +2 endurance. And then I have what many consider could be the Evergel relic, thing. So not only do I have the attack power increase for each Evergel person defeated, I also have a Stone Sword key in my possession at the start of expedition. And on top of that, I have treasure marked upon map, because you can be able to find some decent little stuff and treasure chests if you actually somehow have a way to see them on the map. Now, I kind of wanted to try. Now the reason I think I had this as something completely different at one point, but because I had like another little like slot or whatever that had like that was kind of like the exact same kind of thing or something built around towards that. I was like, you know what? Why don't I try and play around with something and see what I can make? And so I kind of have a blood loss bow. I pretty much have like a blood loss build with a side of a poison. So there's that. Alright, so now next up is Sealed Ironeye Urn, which has 2 greens and yellow. I have a Grand Tranquil Scene, which has HP restored upon using medical boluses, etc. Starting number deals lightning damage and +1 intelligence. Polished Tranquil Scene, where it has Rain of Arrows, because Rain of Arrows is I say Rain of Arrows is technically like my second favorite Astral War to use on bows, with the first one being Barrage. So we got that, and also have the original prisoner defeated attack power stuff, and then I have Dark Knight of the Champion. So Dark Knight of the Champion, I believe you get that from defeating Everdark Drift Knight, as I like to call them. So I kind of threw this on here because not only do you get like an increase in maximum stamina, but also like defeating enemies deals more art gauge and boosts the attack power of added infinity attacks. So I'd say like at most you can be able to use this pretty well on bosses that take lightning damage. So there's that. Next is Sacred Erdtree Grail, which is all yellows. So this right here is pretty much this right here is my holy loadout. So Dark Knight of the Champion once again. Edge of Order, which is a remembrance item that you can get from dueling Ironeye's Remembrance. I believe that you have to defeat I believe you have to defeat the regular version of Dark Drift Knight in order to get this. And then I got a Grand Limited Scene, which has the +1 additional skill or character skill, Rain of Arrows, and +1 intelligence because it seemed like a nice little loadout. Next is Spirit Shelter Grail, which is all green. Now, I didn't really notice as to what I could do with all with the relics and stuff that I have, so I kind of did a bit of a thing where I used like Polished Tranquil Scenes, which had like 2 effects for each thing. So I guess you can say in a way this is kind of like a I guess you could say this is kind of like a team relic a team loadout thing, because you got items conferred to affect all the allies. You got defeating enemies restores HP for allies but not for self, and then raise stamina recovery speed for nearby allies but not for self, and also Flask also heals allies. And the slight little thing that I had for myself per se was partial HP restoration upon post damage attack, which is kind of which I think some people kind of refer to as like the Bloodborne effect, and also HP restore when using medical boluses and etc. Oops, I was not done. And then finally we got Giant's Crater Grail, which is an all blue relic. So this right here is what I like to kind of refer to as the Infinity build. So first one that I got is Knight of the Baron, which has improved critical hits +1, art gauge fills moderately upon critical hits, and also critical hit boosts time recovery speed. I cannot for the life of me fucking remember what boss this comes from, so apologies if I don't mention it. Night Lord, that is from the final boss. So, switching weapons adds an affinity attack, boosts the power of added affinity attacks, and switching weapons boosts attack power. So, pretty much on certain weapons that you can be able to get throughout your run, you can have like a random little affinity on those weapons. Now, I believe the thing goes along the lines, and I think this could be random as well. So, but like some of the things, if not all of them, include holy, lightning, fire, magic. Because that's why I'm often seeing a lot with when switching weapons. And then Dark Knight of the Fathom, which this one you get from defeating the Everdark version of Augur. It has increased maximum HP, continuous HP recovery, and slowly restore HP for yourself and nearby allies when HP is low. So, yeah, pretty much just like a boss relic, just like a boss loadout relic. Something I've been kind of like playing around with, because I'd say, I say like in a way, like you never know exactly as to what kind of weapons and stuff you're gonna be able to get in your expedition runs. So having this could could be able to make any weapon have like a special little infinity thing, to help out with some bosses. And I also would say in a way too that this could be kind of helpful for those who have a recluse on their team, because I believe like with all the various like with the different infinities and all that, you can be able to help create like random ass cocktails for the recluse to use for her little character skill ability as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my loadout stuff that I've made. I know there's like other characters and stuff like that, but I haven't really done much with them in terms of like having variety. But Ironeye was definitely one that kind of got lucky to play around with and all that. So there you go. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. What you guys think of my loadouts and all that stuff. Maybe if you have any random suggestions or ideas, maybe throw them in the comments as well, and I'll see what I can do for if I get lucky to get a nice little combination. And of course, feel free to use these ideas to your own adventures and stuff like that. But yeah. I hope, and as always, I want to say, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a like on the video, sub to the channel if you want, and all that good stuff. And until I see you all in the next video or live stream, as always, take care everybody, and I hope you all have a good week or weekend.